Vanderbilt, Alabama, 3:30 Eastern, prime time, SEC on ABC matchup. Two schools that we've never used the word prime time when they've met ever. Like it's literally felt like ever. I'm 25 years old. In the 25 years I've been alive, in the maybe 18, 19 years I've watched college football enough to know what's going on, this has never been a primetime game. Last year, obviously, we saw Vanderbilt pull off what was the miraculous, the incredible, the unthinkable. Diego Pavia, unbelievable performance. Time of possession was so lopsided, and Clark Lee has only built off that momentum. This Vanderbilt team has built an incredible atmosphere. They're on a great trajectory. I love what he is doing there. I love the talent he has, the team he's put together. They play with an underdog mentality. They're going to keep that. They still are the underdog this year, but let's talk about the mental fortitude of a matchup like this for Alabama, and we'll get to the X's and O's in the preview with a prediction at the tail end of this. But for Alabama, the mental fortitude has to be, hey, last year we rolled into this Vanderbilt game in the same exact situation. We had just beat Georgia. However, the difference being we were the number one team in the country, high on our horse, thought we were the best of the best, thought we arrived. Maybe Saban was still lingering in there, like, hey, we're Alabama. That quickly turned south very fast as they headed north to Nashville and lost. This year, on the other hand, I think it's different. You're in Tuscaloosa. You're not the number one team in the country. At least the rankings don't tell you that, right? AP poll does not have Bama number one, but outside of a number next to their name, the biggest thing is what's inside their heads. And I think Alabama will be more than prepared, more than on alert for this football game. I think they're going to come in here inspired. The mental fortitude will be completely different. They're going to be ready to roll. Let's talk about their offense, because I think it's worth noting that Ryan Grubb and Ty Simpson are starting to build a little chemistry. This offense has looked a lot more comfortable. Alabama has been extremely good on third downs. So I look for these two to continue to do a good job of not turning the ball over, for one. Ty Simpson has yet to throw an interception. This Bama team does not turn the ball over. They are effective on third downs. A lot of these things, right? Playing mistake-free football on the road against Georgia, you got to carry that into at home against Vanderbilt. Again, no shade towards the Doors, still a very good team, but this is a wonderful position. This sets up extremely well for Alabama and this offense. It's not going to be as tough of a defense that you're facing up against this week. You're going to get a better effort probably. That's just your Bama, and that's the reality of how this thing goes, especially coming off a big win. But here's the next thing too. Look, I love what Ryan Grubb has done in terms of getting Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams the football and getting them the football in space. But what they have to do is get Jam Miller going. I know last week was his first week back, but they need to find some run game establishment early in this football game. You're bigger, you're faster, you're stronger than Vanderbilt. So prove that, man. Establish the line of scrimmage early, be physical, get Jam Miller the ball, whether that's in the passing game. I want to see them establish the run game early, stick to that, grind out this football game, right? Let's not let the time of possession be 40 minutes to, I believe it was like 18 minutes last year in favor of the Commodores. So that's the big things. Defensively, I think Kane Womack and this defense are starting to get things figured out a little bit. I thought they did a great job bottling up Nate Frazier in that Georgia run game last week. Gunnar Stockton's legs didn't hurt them as much, but the rush defense is still 90th plus in the country in terms of how bad they are. So they have to get better. Now that, of course, can be skewed. One bad game, at least still this kind of early. I guess we're not necessarily early in the season, but what I'm trying to say is one bad game is still in that area where it can skew you. So we've seen improvements on both sides of the ball for Alabama. They have to carry this momentum. I think that's been the issue with the DeBoer tenure. Again, still a young tenure. It's not like he's been there for 3, 4, 5 years. But last year we saw it was like 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. We need to see 2 steps forward from Alabama, and this is a wonderful opportunity to do it. Who are they trying to do it against, though, is the biggest question. And they're doing it against Clark Lee and Diego Pavia. So let me talk about the mental side for Vanderbilt, because we talked about this for Bama. Vanderbilt's going to be ready to go. Clark Lee could get you to run through a wall. If you haven't watched his pregame speeches, I highly encourage you to go do it. Look it up. They get you fired up. Like, I'm telling you guys, they will get you fired up. But here's the thing. This Vanderbilt team is going to play the underdog mindset, as they should. They are the underdog. Last year it worked for them. They're going to need it this year on the road in Tuscaloosa. I think that might give you more fuel, more energy. It's a huge target on Bama's back, and Vanderbilt wants to put the bullseye or hit the bullseye right dead in the center. So offensively, here's what needs to happen. Diego Pavia's legs have to be a factor. Okay, the pass rush is going to get there. Kane Womack's going to send a lot of different blitz packages. I think he's going to disguise a lot of coverages, but they have to have gap integrity and rush lane integrity. That's the two biggest things for Alabama in this game. They cannot let Diego Pavia's ability to maneuver outside of the pocket and create off-platform kill them. We know Alabama struggled with dual threat mobile quarterbacks, so they're going to have to find a way to not let that happen in this football game and stay committed to keeping him in the pocket and getting him on the ground as fast as possible. For Vanderbilt's offense, the biggest thing is they need him to do that, and they got to get the ball out quick. Like, get Junior Sherrill involved in the screen game early, get Cedric Alexander involved in the screen game early, utilize Alabama's aggressiveness against them is kind of what I want to see. McKylan Young, also a stud. Vanderbilt's got a top 20 rushing offense, so something to watch for. We'll see what they can do interior-wise on the line of scrimmage. If they can find some push, which last year they did, again, nothing's impossible, that would be huge. That takes a lot of pressure off of you. That opens your playbook wide open. I think Gus Malzahn put together the blueprint on how to move the ball against this Alabama defense, and you have the talent and the mobile quarterback that he had to do it. So that's something I want to watch for. Vanderbilt's offense utilizes a lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of screens, a lot of jet sweeps, really a lot of jet motion RPOs. I think we're going to see every single one of those. Eli Stowers needs to be involved. He is a mismatch nightmare. He's a stud. So, yeah, that's really going to be it. Defensively for Vanderbilt, it's bend but don't break. Bama has not proven that they can really consistently hunker down and run the football. So all you got to do is just stay tough, hold your ground. You're going to give up points, that's fine. You have an offense and a quarterback that can go create. So if Vanderbilt is able to force a turnover, which Alabama has yet to do, that could change things. We don't really know what Alabama is going to look like with some turnovers on the board. Any kind of that in-game adversity. They've done a good job not turning it over. So that's something to watch for. Look, CJ Hurd, Martell Height, those guys in the secondary have to find an interception. They have to play well. They got to find a way to bottle up Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. One or the other or both can kill you. It's a bad night if both of them get after you. So get pressure on Ty Simpson. If it's me, I'm pressing those guys. I'm playing a cover 2 shell. I'm playing some kind of a cover 1 here and there. I'm pressing them. I'm playing physical. And I'm just trying to establish my manhood against Alabama. So that's it for the preview. Let's get to the prediction. The line sits at Alabama minus 10.5. To be honest with you, I don't hate that line. I think it's realistic and it's understandable for Bama being a home team after what happened last year. Mentally, they're not going to let this one slip. I'm not touching the line, but I'm taking Alabama to win this game. I think the mental psyche of what happened last year, that's sitting in the back of their head. I think this team is going to be ready. I think DeBoer, after that win against Georgia, that was the most energized I've seen him, the most animated I've seen him. It looked like the team was bought in. It felt like a different Alabama team from week 1. Night and day. Night and day. I think they're going to build off that. They're going to continue to grow off that. Although Vanderbilt's a very good team, and I have the most immense amount of respect for Clark Lee and what he's doing with this program, I just don't know if this is a type of win on the road in Tuscaloosa that they're going to be able to go capture. And that's hard to say that many teams could go do that. Clearly, Georgia couldn't even do it at home last week. So no ill intent towards the Commodores. I still think there's a special season ahead for them and a very good team. I think this is going to be competitive. I really do. I think it's going to be close. That's why I'm not touching the line on this game, but I am confidently taking Alabama to win this. If you wanted to throw it into a parlay to kind of boost the odds, to me, this is a safe bet for the Crimson Tide. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.